guys, welcome to the Leaderboard, where we give you new video game drops every week. My name is Jen.
And I'm Cade from Super Coin Crew, where it's non-stop Nintendo, and we are counting down the top 10 hardest Legend of Zelda dungeons.
But here on the Leaderboard, we're only going to give you the first 5. If you want to see all 10, be sure to head to Super Coin Crew's channel.
So without further ado, let's get started.
Everyone who has played a Legend of Zelda game has always struggled with at least one dungeon, where you have to ask your friend or consult the strategy guide. Well, that's why Super Coin Crew, where it's non-stop Nintendo, is counting down the top 10 hardest dungeons from the Legend of Zelda series. These are the ones that we tend to struggle with. Let's dive right in. Number 10. Sand Ship from Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. I'm on a boat! As one of the most well-designed dungeons in Skyward Sword, the Sand Ship had its share of fun and fascinating moments due to the time shift stone mechanic. But despite how cool some of the stone puzzles are, frustration is bound to set in. You have to keep activating time shift stones and switching from the present to the past. And that's cool and all, but it gets sticky real fast. Also, it's no secret that Skyward Sword has one of the most unique control setups of any Zelda game to date, so many of the enemies are extra challenging to beat. Like that one room where there are like 100 BMOs. Okay, well actually there's just 3 of them, but come on. And then the boss looks like a very terrifying version of Celia May from Monsters Incorporated. Maybe it just needs a Mike Wazowski in its life for some TLC. Number 9. Temple of Droplets from The Legend of Zelda The Minish Cap. The handheld Legend of Zelda games don't get enough love. They tend to be overshadowed by the bigger console games, but mark my words, the handhelds will keep you busy. One of our favorite handheld Legend of Zelda games is the Minish Cap for Game Boy Advance for a ton of reasons. One of which is not the Temple of Droplets. The puzzles involve all this pushing and melting and freezing, which is just making me exhausted thinking about it. And if you slip, you may have to start all over. Ice levels, man, ice levels. Don't even get me started on the boss in this dungeon, the giant Octorok. I mean, first off, the floor is made of ice, so you're slipping the entire time. Then he's throwing things at you and you're just trying to dodge him while trying to hit him with the flame lantern, and then once you do that, he starts spinning all over the place. Such a challenge, man. Ice levels, really hard. Number 8, Great Palace from Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. Great Palace is classic 8-bit creepy, secret tunnels, illusory walls, and a solid MIDI soundtrack for some good old-fashioned ambience. Plus, we've got a bird theme going on, so that's fun. But once Thunderbird shows up, things get real. If Link doesn't have his stats maxed out, it's almost impossible to get by. If Link doesn't have a Thunder Spell, it's actually impossible to get by. So where does one get the Thunder Spell? Well, from a guy in town, of course, So how do you make him hand it over? Well, you have to find the 4 magic containers in the game, which are pretty well hidden. So let me get this straight. You have to go back out of the dungeon, go find the town person guy, get all 4 containers, bring them back to the town person. Only then will you have a chance at getting past Thunderbird, who isn't even the final boss. Whew. Looks like we're gonna be here all day. Thanks, Great Palace. Thanks. Number 7, Wind Temple from Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker. The Wind Temple. It starts off pretty low pressure and fun. You plant some seeds, grow some trees, and have generally a chill time. But then you're charged with the responsibility of getting Makar, a little wooden leafy guy, to the end in one piece. Okay, the Wind Temple is mostly vertical, and so besides getting past puzzles and enemies, you're also fighting gravity. And because the room is cylindrical, you may find yourself floating around in circles and struggling to get reoriented multiple times. The other thing about Wind Waker in general is that the character design is super cute. I mean, Link is adorable and Makar is just downright precious. He's so chubby and squeaky, and oh man, look how he waddles. I don't want Makar to die. This is so much pressure. All in all, the Wind Temple is an excellent dungeon, even if it's pretty challenging. Number 6, Ice Palace from The Legend of Zelda A Link to the Past. Oh man, another ice level. But this is actually the first ice dungeon in the Legend of Zelda series. But can someone just please explain to me why Link doesn't have ice skates? I feel like I should get an Olympic medal in ice dancing just for getting to the stairs. The ice is actually not the hardest part of this dungeon this time though. There's a lot of backtracking involved in getting keys to open even more rooms, so you're definitely gonna get lost. A lot. And you're going to have to fight a lot of angry green penguins. I mean, come on penguins, I thought you were my friends. I feel so betrayed. Okay, those penguins are not actually called penguins, they're pingators. And they're basically a bird-like creature, essentially looking like an alligator and a penguin. So just get me out of the Ice Palace, please. Alive, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching Super Coin Crew's list. If you want to find out what the top 5 hardest Legend of Zelda dungeons are, click on the video or the link in the description below.
And if you want to see more Legend of Zelda content, be sure to click here for 107 Ocarina of Time facts. And be sure to subscribe to the Leaderboard, where your game is never over.
And all you Nintendo fans, head over to Super Coin Crew because it's non-stop Nintendo, so subscribe over there.
Alright, bye!
Thanks for watching.